The publishing options available to authors today has exploded. There's so many to choose from, and it's like fumbling through a ring of countless keys, unsure which one will open the door to your success, and you don't know if it even will. Among these options is the mysterious but yet appealing option of hybrid publishing. Although you may have heard of it, you don't fully understand what it is and how it works. So what are you to do? Well, on today's episode of Your Path to Publish, we're diving deep into hybrid publishing. What is it? How it works? What to watch out for? And how to decide if it's a publishing path fit for you. This is Your Path to Publish. I'm your host, Zach Christensen. For the past decade, our team has guided authors just like you to find the best path to publish your book, get people excited to buy it even before it launches, and to turn it into the ultimate business card to build your business and your legacy. If you are ready to get your book out of your head and into people's hands, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Have you ever had those moments in life when you're not quite sure what you're looking at? It could be you're trying to spot an animal at a zoo, and everyone else seems to see it, but you can't quite see it yet because maybe it's a chameleon that's blended in with the branch, or it's a leaf bug, or something else that blends in so well that you're not quite sure if it's worth it to continue to pursue to find it or just to move on to something else. That's how it can kind of feel when looking at publishing options. And even when you dive in to one of the main three options of traditional self-publishing or hybrid, there are dozens of other decisions that you'll need to make in order to figure out which path is an option for you that will hopefully lead to your success as an author. And hybrid publishing has become more and more prevalent, more and more available to authors, and on many different levels. But there's a lot of confusion around what exactly constitutes a hybrid publisher. First of all, let's start into kind of one of the basic ways of looking at what exactly is a hybrid publisher. And how I define it and teach it to authors is that a hybrid publisher provides the same services as a traditional publisher, but you are paying upfront, you keep your rights, and you also get a bigger take on the back end of your royalties, usually between 60 and 75% of the royalty, versus with a traditional publisher, you're only going to get 10 to 15% of the royalty, depending on the format. Now, that may be the most basic definition, and you might think, well, what's the difference between a hybrid publisher and a service provider? Well, a hybrid publisher has the distribution channels and the in-house expertise that a traditional publisher typically would. So editors, printing, distribution to retail locations, brick and mortar stores, as well as distribution to the online platforms that everyone knows. They typically will have the options to engage with a sales force that will go out and pitch your book to different distribution partners, much more than a service provider would. Because a service provider, such as what I provide at Juxtabook, is helping offer services for a price, but I do not claim at all to be a hybrid publisher. I can help authors self-publish and distribute their book through self-publishing means, but I have not built up the capacity to distribute books into retail channels through the relationships and networks that I have built. So that's one of the things you have to be vigilant and be aware of, is that as you're going through and vetting hybrid publishers, to distinguish, are they really a hybrid publisher or are they a service provider? Now, with many of the authors I work with, we will go through and look at different hybrid publishers, and I would say there's, give or take, about 10 to 15 strong hybrid publishers out there that are true hybrid publishers. But we want to think about, when does it make sense to go with a hybrid publisher versus self-publishing, which is usually the alternative option when traditional publishing isn't of interest or has not become an option for the author. So here's some items to consider for when it makes sense to go with a hybrid publisher. First, you don't want to self-publish, or you can't or don't want to wait for a traditional publishing deal. With self-publishing, you do own everything. You have to outsource and find and project manage basically the production of your book. You can hire others to help you accomplish that, such as what I do, but you can find people to help you manage that process, but it's a little more involved. Second, you want the support and guidance. You want someone who knows exactly what they're doing, that has in-house individuals that can help you with the writing, the publishing, the marketing, and the building of your author brand, all housed within one place. Because that is one advantage of a hybrid publisher, is that typically everything they offer is all within their company ecosystem and everything is connected, versus going out and finding different service providers that may not have worked with each other or aren't connected with each other. Third is you want the feel of a traditional publisher, but you want to have more creative control. With hybrid publishers, you own 100% of the rights of your book, and most hybrid publishers will make their suggestions, but at the end of the day, you are the one who makes the final call, such as things on the cover, the title. You can bring in your own book cover if you have a specific designer that you want to work through. You have a higher degree of creative control. Fourth is you want better royalties and buyback rates to sell your book directly to your clients and have better margins. So hybrid publishers, because you're paying up front, don't need necessarily the royalties off of the book. They may take anywhere from 15 to 20% just to help cover some of the ongoing overhead that they have. But ultimately, you get the benefits of the royalties. And you can buy your books back at a cheaper rate, meaning that if you have a book, let's say, is $24.99 retail, and if it's a hardcover, typical 6x9 business type book, the cost on that book will probably be around $3 to $5, and your cost to purchase it back will be anywhere from that $6 to $10 range from the publisher. So that means you have a $15 margin that you can play with when offering it to your clients and selling directly to your clients. And those costs may even be better depending on how many books you have printed, or if it's through a print-on-demand model that will impact it. And then fifth is more of a consideration of the opportunity cost to do all of this and manage it yourself versus what else you could be doing. One of the authors I'm currently working with went with a hybrid publisher because it's a stronger advantage for them to keep doing what they're doing, to go out and sell their consulting and their coaching and their speaking opportunities versus project managing and needing to be highly involved in every step of the way. They would rather be involved when needed, approve things, making sure it's up to the standard that they are expecting and that everything looks good and not get lost in the weeds. So now here's the big question. Will your book be successful through hybrid publishing? You need to make sure you have it clear in your mind that you know what success looks like for your book. And so hybrid publishing does not by any means guarantee anything related to sales. They will have marketing options for you to be able to push forward and get your book out there and to get attention on it, but they can't guarantee sales. And you're still the one that will need to push forward and sell the book. Another thing to be aware of, as with any service that's offered out there, is that it's not going to be perfect. There will be bumps in the road. You're going to be working with individuals that are going to potentially make mistakes that will have to be corrected. There will be potential delays that will happen. Unexpected things will pop up either on your end or on the hybrid publisher's end. And even if you pay for a premium service, realize that it won't be perfect, but it can still be great and can still be worth your time and an investment. And the final thing to keep in mind if you're considering a hybrid publisher is that you need to make sure you understand your long-term goals and realize that not everything will come from the book sales. Your ROI, your return on investment, will be from the opportunities that it creates for you. I've seen many authors that go through hybrid publishers and their books out there, and it's more there just to say they have a published book and they went through a hybrid publisher because they did not want to source everything themselves. And so the hybrid publishers was a strong fit for them. So your action item today is to think about if hybrid publishing could be a potential option for you based on the discussion that I've just put forth. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Please engage with me at juxtabook.com or on any of our social media platforms. And if you're still undecided on which publishing path is right for you, set up a free consultation at juxtabook.com and we can walk through your questions and figure out which is the best way for you to publish and market your book. To help us out, rate and review your path to publish. It helps us to stand out among the many other podcasts out there and find the right audience for our podcast. Thank you for listening. Go out there, dust off your manuscript, find your best publishing path, and turn it into a bestseller that grows your business.